Welcome to the nightly vid. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so forgive me if I sound a little sick. We'll see starting with the SPY here. Top of the broadening formation here on the daily basis. We do have a slight, you could say doji or hammer, so if we can get above that tomorrow, we'd have continuation. If we're below it, it's reversal. Dow Jones, slight corrective activity against the week, potentially with the hammer momentum. And same thing, you're going to see top of the daily triangle. Looks like this. So can we get out of that or not is the question. If we look up and left, we do have pivot targets to go after. IWM's a little bit weaker. You see closer to the 2-2 tomorrow, which would negate the week. And then QQQ, a little stronger with the tech names. And you're going to see at this point, it's starting to close outside of its broadening formation in here. So we'll see if that can stay good. And we still have pivot targets to go up and left. It's going to look the same as the technology, the semiconductors, which were a little bit weaker today. So you can see went reversal. So if things are weak tomorrow, potentially these follow through. If not, it's going to go 2-2-2 and firm back up. The financial sector went 2 up to start the week, confirming last week's 3-2-2. You're going to see it's up almost 4%, so that's a good trade. We will see if we go momentum hammer tomorrow to confirm. This will include Goldman Sachs, potential momentum hammer to confirm the rotation into financials. Wells Fargo, slight corrective activity on the day to confirm or negate. Citigroup, we'll see the momentum hammer. Bank of America, you'll see a little bit of a doji. JP Morgan, you'll see 2 up to start the week. And similarly, still confirming. Notice it's up about 6%. Pretty good. And that is about all I am seeing. We'll also see for the Strat Attack defense. Talked about your 3-2-2 in defense last week, and up they go, 16%. This is why we trade the weeklies, right? Big moves. It's going to be setting up the outside Rev Strat hammer month for next month with 5 days, but they're buying this month too. So 2 up to start the week tells you GE. You can see the Rev Strat to start the week. Up they go. Notice from the previous weekend vid, still good. 3-1-2 reversal. It's going to be up 7%. General Dynamics, still inside week, but they do start 2 up, so it could break. Lockheed Martin did go 3-2-2 on a Tuesday, so it's a potential 2-go-3 on the week to make a higher low down into from these guys to try and come back through this compound 3 here. Nowhere near setting up monthlies there. We'll see NOC did go inside week and up. 2 up to start the week. Monthly 3-2-2 in force, setting up the 2-2-2 quarter to go back to all-time highs up in here. If we go to RTX, you'll see from last week's weekend vid, still good, up 4%. 2 up to start the week. Boeing has the slight 2 down for the 2-2 reversal, setting up the hammer month for next month. Also setting up the momentum hammer quarter. It is still an inside year, but it is part of the defense sector. And personally, I do think that this one's going to end up being a good one this year, regardless of its little weakness. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll also see things like Zoom, which did start 2 up. It looks like a little bit of a shooter here. But setting up into next month potentially for the 2-2. Also saw a little bit of DocuU action, also a little bit of a shooter in there today, but setting up for next month 3-2-2. So one thing we want to make note of is as we get to the end of the month, we got quarterly rebalancing and stuff going on. They seem to be buying. So what's going to occur next month more than likely? We're probably going to reclaim this stuff, go 2-2 reversal. So next month, when we open up, we'll have full time frame continuity, and we could start coming back through this range back into all-time highs. That's something we'll want to be aware of, and therefore, with the monthly vid coming out, we want to buy things that are setting those monthlies up, or things that are already going up on the month. And we've just pointed out all the things setting up with their weekly signals that we've been tracking since last week's weekend vid. So that's the type of stuff we want to be looking for. As far as signals are concerned, let me go and pull them up. And before I do that, let's just continue to add to the list here. Google, 2-2 week from the weekend vid. 2 up momentum hammer, 2 up to start the week. So you got Strat Attack going on in there, setting up the 3-2-2 on the month, similar to the last 2-2 in here, reclaiming a 3, and then go take the other side of the range. Microsoft, bottom of the triangle, does start as a 2-up week. We'll see 2 up to start, just a little weaker there. Meta, similarly, starting up on the week, 2-2 week. Still a little bit further from changing the month. And we do see Apple inside week and up from the bottom of the bigger broadening formation here, with the same momentum hammer Google had, 2 up to start the week. So some of the big 7 names, even see Netflix here. We'll see 2-2 last week, still going, 2 up. So going here, this one's actually about or above its month open. So that's a potential 3 if they want to continue to follow through. All right, that being said, let us go and take a look here. We will also see Amazon 2-2 week, setting up the 3-2-2 with Google. So a lot of 3-2-2s for next month. 2 up to start the week, Amazon. And last one here, Tesla's 2 up momentum hammer. That's definitively on the video list or nightly vid list for momentum tomorrow above 28820. We prefer these to gap down slightly and then go. So if we can get that tomorrow, that'd be cool. But let's make sure we have that on the list. So on the Strat Attack, you're going to see we have some of these guys, Google, Netflix up in there, Amazon. We can also add crowd and Tesla here. Move some of the Gapper names off the list here into the Gapper universe. All right. As far as setups are concerned, we did see a little bit of volatility in the healthcare sector today, 3-2 down. So maybe we see that firm up with a 4-hour tomorrow. It is a big old outside day, so it'd be opening as a 1. But we'll see, if that we get out of that 3 or not. Outside of that, there's nothing super notable. We'll take a look at some inside days. So on the scan site here today, the first thing we'll note is you can kind of see, right? Utilities, 85% down today. Healthcare is 44%. And real estate's 38%. So these are where they're getting out of. And then technology, we're up today. Financials, definitely up today. So you can see just based on the statistics, we know exactly where to be. And that's the beautiful thing with this scan site. We're just going to have so much data that can back up your trades. You're literally not going to have to guess ever again, which is super cool. But hopefully that makes sense. We can see here as far as the scans are concerned, I mean, scanning 1 million or more volume, looking for inside days above $50. And we can even go by ATR. We want to get the dollar amount, but right now it's at ATR %, which is useful. If you filter out some of the lower volatility names in there, you can see you get the high ATR names that are low dollar amount just based on %. So we'll take a look there and see what we got. PSTG, a nice little hammer month you got in there. Setting up at the inside day. It's all momentum though. LSCC at the chips inside day, top of the triangle, inside month at this point. So we're going to hold off. Technically, once you get to the end of the month, you can start trying to play this triangle in here, but no thank you. Yeah, a lot of like really small inside days on a lot of dojis in here. So that's kind of like yesterday, just not seeing anything crazy. A lot of good stuff setting up for next week though, or next month. JBL inside day, setting up a RevStrat month. Put that on the list. The spreads there can be iffy, so we might not end up trading that, but we'll see. Yeah, so on the inside day list, it's nothing like super interesting. Home Depot you could have on the list. John Deere, DE you could have on the list. A lot of this stuff is kind of like petering out as far as volatility is concerned. But that being said, we can take a look and see who we have for not just inside days, but we can go for shooters. And we can remove that little filter there. We'll still do the volume filter here. And you can see, so a lot of technology stuff in here. 2-up shooter on the day. Let's see what that looks like for us. Snow. And ideally, we'd be going after rev strats, so maybe stuff like MongoDB, bright red month. Then the shooter day to confirm that, so we'll have some of these on the list. Potential rev strat week with the shooter on MDB. We will see a lot of gold in there. GDX day, shooter day. GDX shooter day. Silver, a little bit of a shooter day. And GLD, a little bit of a shooter rev strat day. Should be closer to taking the week down. So I'll have some of the materials. And one thing that the site will do, I want to show you. I'm not sure if we'll be able to fix this before we release. But we can see when we scan for shooters, we're also getting some completed patterns. So what we're able to do is actually scan, say, anything that ends with a 2-up. So now it's only 2-up shooters, which is pretty neat. We'll see XOP in there, XLE with the Wednesday energy numbers. Then OIH very slightly. It's going to tell you things like XOM might get some pivot machine gun. CVX might get some pivot machine gun. US oil still decently firm in there. And I'd really prefer energies to stay strong, but I'll put question marks next to it. I prefer those set up for next week and next month. But they have been buying, so we may get some triangle out before then. Outside of that, there's nothing super interesting that I'm seeing. We can scan for hammer. And now we're looking at 2-up hammers, which will give us momentum setups. So we already saw Tesla on there. I can show you the scans here. So all we do to scan for category, we can either go like this, say, boom, hammer, give me all the hammers. Or we can type in the category. You see, it looks like this. We go hammer. We can go 2-up in the pattern and say ends with, or something I haven't shown yet. We can go based on the current candle. So I can go here and say, just give me anything 2-up. And it'll only give me the 2-up hammers. So these are all going to be momentum. Now, in this case, since we're scanning just the last bar, will give us patterns like TOST. You see on the day, this is going to give us a 1-3-2 up. That was a hammer yesterday. This is still something we're working on. When we click setup, it should be removing this, but at this point it's not. But in this case, again, we can fix that. Going ends with 2-up or equals 2-up. So just the 2-up momentum hammers. We go in there. Visa in the financials, something we want to know about. Goldman Sachs, obviously something we'll want to know about. AXP is in there, same exact deal, the momentum hammer. Looks like ARK-K does have a momentum hammer, which is going to be, I imagine, with stuff like PLTR. I know some decent holdings in there, but you can do that yourself if you want to go take a look at those. Now, I want to take a look at the 2 down hammers, if there's any, and see what we're looking like there. So NVIDIA. You see 2 down hammer NVIDIA, no weekly signals, could set up a hammer month to reclaim a scenario 3. So you'd have the 222 in there. Mondelez, this is one we should actually still have longs on, right? If you're a shares trader especially. But you're going to see the triangle in here, so it's not going to be the cleanest one in the world, but it looks something like that. A little bit of a hammer here to cause a weekly. We do see staples pretty weak, though, this week. So unless those firm up, we're not going to touch that. Looks like in the financials, we got upstart. Coming off the bottom of the weekly triangle. Momentum hammer back through a previous range. Actually, 2-2 hammer. Add it to the financials there. Also see LMND with the hammer. Still through 1 month, so it'd be setting up for next month. That's really about all I'm seeing there. The other cool thing we can do, I haven't tried it yet, but we can look for rev strats only that are setting up, which again, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like this is still, let's see, I'll take a look at a few of them. Yeah, so it looks like it's scanning the day currently when it should be scanning based on what today is going on. So doesn't look like that's going to be working at this moment. There's a lot of potential 3-2-2s we see, just a lot of nobodies though. Outside of that though, I don't got too much tonight. If you're skipping towards the end, this is going to be your Strat Attack. At least what we're seeing. Here's your momentum hammers on the Strat Attack stuff, mostly your financials. And your big 7 names going to be on the Strat Attack list. Got some new adds to the Gapper universe today, and a little bit of shooter setups in the precious metals and maybe energies with energy numbers, although we prefer the upside. So that is the gist tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Again, forgive me for my voice today. I'm just a little bit sick, but I'll be up bright and early tomorrow morning to see you guys if you're in stat. And if you're not, come and join us. Visit stratalerts.ai to learn more. Adios and have a good rest of your night.